What are you living for? In the last episode, I told you that you needed to spend some time doing some self-discovery and really thinking about what are you living for? What is your purpose? What do you want your life to mean? And discovering what truly sets your soul on fire and really tapping into that, tuning into that, and understanding what sets your soul on fire. And today I'm going to be sharing with you some tips for precisely how to discover what sets your soul on fire, how to discover your purpose, your meaning in life, your why, why you do all the things you do, your motive behind all of the actions that you take. I have gone through several rounds of really trying to discover what my life purpose is and what am I living for? The classic, why am I here? What is the purpose behind my existence? Why do I exist? And I've gone through several rounds of that. Starting in high school, I sort of skipped this exercise during college. But then after college, I really reached this place of being lost. I mean, I was completely lost. I had no idea what I wanted to do. I knew I didn't want to do what I went to school for, but I had no idea why. I had no idea why I was living. I had no idea what my purpose was, what really drove me. And so I had to go through this exercise of trying to discover what sets my soul on fire and why I do what I do. What is my motive for all the good things that I do? What is my motive and my purpose behind all of the actions I take? How do I want to make people feel? I had absolutely no idea what that was, and so I had to spend some time really looking into myself and really doing the work to figure that out and to be able to put it in a statement in a way that I could align myself with that. And after about 2 to 3 years of doing these exercises and thinking about this and, writing it and then rewriting it and then writing it again, I have been able to narrow down what my why for my life is. And what that basically means is that, number one, I have purpose behind all of my actions, and I am able to identify the actions I need to be taking. And if I reach any sort of moment in my life where it feels like I'm really out of kilter and it feels like I'm taking these actions, but I don't feel aligned, it doesn't feel real, it doesn't feel authentic, it feels sort of fake to me, I'm able to look at the actions I've been taking, look at the, the goals I've been making, look at my purpose, look at my why, and then I'm able to make the adjustments that I need in order to align myself with my why once again. And so knowing what you're living for, what you want your life to mean, knowing that and knowing what your purpose is, that allows you to really have a purposeful life no matter what you're doing, and it allows you to feel passionate about your life outside of how much money you're making, what your job is, and just the typical markers of success, the benchmarks of success that people and culture and society have created for us. If we have a why statement, a mission statement, a purpose in our life, all of those things, they'll come, right? The things, the money, the success, they'll come. They might not look the way that we thought normal success would look, but they'll come. But they're not as important anymore. What's important to you is, am I completing my mission? Am I completing my mission? Because you're just so on fire for it that it means more to you than how much money you're making. It means more to you than what people might think of you. It means more to you than anything else if you are able to identify your why. And so today I am going to share with you how I've discovered my why and my purpose and sort of the exercises that I've gone through and that sometimes I go through again just to realign myself and focus in and hone in and say, okay, you know what? This is why I'm here. If it doesn't go towards that mission, if my actions are not pointed towards this mission and this purpose, then I'm not going to take them anymore. I'm going to share with you the 4 steps that I took to discover my mission and the 4 things that I do to continue aligning myself with that mission. So the first thing that I did, and I remember doing this, I was reading a book. It was called Tapping into Wealth by Margaret Lynch, and I'll link it down below. It's a great book. This book changed my life. But it really went into, it was all about money and freeing yourself from the limiting beliefs that you have about money. But I sort of started applying it to all areas of my life, including my purpose and my mission for my life. And what I did, this is the first step, is that I identified the goals and the purposes and the missions, plural, you generally have one true mission, one true purpose. I identified the things that were not my own, but that I had inherited from other people. Okay, I had inherited certain mission statements, certain goals, certain purposes for my work from other people. Whether it was that somebody else had this particular goal, or if somebody said something to me and they didn't mean it in a malicious way or, a manipulative way, but I sort of latched onto it and made it my goal because hopefully it would please them. And so I had to spend some time looking at what I had done and how I had lived my life and the things I had been doing. I had to look at them, and I looked at them and said, this is somebody else's goal. This is somebody else's purpose. This is somebody else's life mission. It's not mine. It's not my mission. It's not my goal. It's not my purpose. And it's not my dream. Okay, so I had to spend some time really identifying those things. For instance, I started this YouTube channel with the purpose of, I started with creating makeup content. And it started as this, I want to help women feel beautiful. There's nothing wrong with that purpose. And I think that my true purpose, it sort of ties into that, but it's not that exactly. But what I realized was that I had derived this goal from the gazillion other mega successful makeup artists and beauty creators on YouTube. I had sort of derived this purpose from them because that was their goal. That was their purpose. They had this mission of, I want women to feel beautiful and I want women to feel confident. And so I sort of latched on to that. Another thing that I think I latched on to was in college. I went to school for accounting and finance, and there were a lot of girls in the business school that they were very much so the boss babe, I'm trying to pave the way for women in the corporate world. Nothing wrong with that goal, but I latched on to it and I made it my goal. But it didn't set my soul on fire. When I really sat down and thought about it, it was like, I don't care. I mean, I really don't care. It's it's important that somebody paves the way for women in the corporate world. Absolutely. But it doesn't set my soul on fire. What sets my soul on fire? And so I had to identify the different things in my life that I had proclaimed were my goal, that I had, stated and declared that, yep, this is my purpose. I had to look at those and think, is it really? Is that really my purpose? Or is this just something that I heard somebody else say and I thought it sounded good and I applied it to my life? And so you need to spend some time really identifying those things. And you need to be very honest and very clear. And like all of these things that I share and talk about, spend some time alone, really thinking about this and being honest with yourself. You don't need to be embarrassed and humiliated and like have this talk with somebody about, somebody super close to you and just, bearing your soul. You just like write it out, write about it. Be clear with yourself though, and be honest with yourself. I have made the most ground and I have made the most progress in my journey of life design and life purpose and having my goals and having my dream life. I've made the most progress when I am honest with myself, especially with the things that I've lied to myself about in the past. And so being honest and not being ashamed or embarrassed, especially when you're all alone, okay? If you're alone, then there is absolutely no reason to be embarrassed of the things that you've been lying to yourself about. There's no need to be embarrassed about it. But be clear, and make it your mission in this moment to say, okay, I need to identify what truly, what like my real purpose is, like what really sets my soul on fire. Underneath of everything I've done, underneath of all the goals that I've said were my purpose, underneath of all of it, what is at my core? What is at my core? And that leads me to step 2, which is that you need to identify how you want to make people feel out of the goodness and purity of your actions. Okay, when you are just living your life, how do you want to make people feel? When you are just existing, you're not even doing anything intentional. How do you want people to feel around you? How do you want to make people feel around you? When I ask myself this question, and I don't really know what made me ask myself this question, but I was just sitting by myself and I realized that I had really strayed away from something that was very important to me, especially in high school. And that was that I wanted to make other women, other girls, other people, usually women, I wanted to make them feel safe around me. I was homeschooled and we had a very diverse group of people in our homeschool group. This is when we had a lot of homeschool groups. I don't even know if homeschool groups are a thing anymore. But we had people that had different kinds of faiths and different twists to their faith, they wore different things, they dressed differently, they went to different churches, they were involved in different things, they were skilled at different things, different personalities. And most of them were very reserved, very conservative, very, just low-key people. I was emo. Okay, I was emo. And so I would show up in, my leather and my heavy makeup and my spiky hair. And I showed up, right? And I was completely different than everybody else. But even in that, I wanted to make all of the people there, I wanted to make all of the girls there feel very safe with me. I wanted to make them feel like I can always go up to Ellie and talk to her and she's going to be nice to me and she's going to make me feel good about myself and she's going to laugh at my jokes and I just feel safe with Ellie. I feel like I can be myself with Ellie. That's how I wanted to make people feel around me. And I realized that in college, I was so obsessed with proving myself that suddenly I went from wanting to make people feel safe to wanting to make people feel intimidated by me. I'm polar opposites, right? And so when I graduated college, again, I just felt so out of kilter and like just out of alignment with what I really wanted and so lost. And when I really spent time looking at myself and getting back to what do I want my life to mean, I literally went back to some of the different moments in high school when I was, with those other girls, with those people, and coming back to what I wanted them to feel like. And realizing that that was still incredibly true and that it was still precisely how I wanted to make people feel. And that making people feel intimidated by me, that was one of those inherited goals that somebody had given me. It was not my goal. It was not my purpose. I wanted to make women feel safe. I wanted to make women feel like, you know what? Yeah, Ellie looks like that. She does these things. This is her career. This is her life. But I feel really safe with her. I feel protected by her, but I feel like I can say just about anything and she's not going to judge me. She's not going to hate me. She's going to work with me through it. She's going to help me through it. She's going to listen to me. And she's not going to make me hate myself. That is what I want people to feel like around me. That is what I want people to feel like around me. And so I had to get down to the core. What do I want people to feel like when they encounter me? Okay, I wanted to get to the core of I'm walking around in the grocery store and I encounter somebody. How do I want to make them feel? Just by looking at me, just by the energy that I am emitting, how do I want to make them feel? How do I want to make you feel? How do I want to make you feel? My listener right here, my watcher, how do I want to make you feel? And at the core of it, I wanted to make you feel safe. I want to make you feel like, yeah, I can pursue my dream. I can talk about my dream. I can share my dream and my goals. I can share that with me or just in this community. I can share that and I feel safe. I feel incredibly safe. That's what I wanted to make you feel like. And so I sort of just leaned into that a little bit more. And that leads me to my third step that I did. And that was that I designed my mission statement. I designed my mission statement for my why, my purpose. Like this is my purpose. And I honestly, every time I write it out, it's a little bit different, but it's the same goal. I don't have it like posted on my wall somewhere. But my mission statement is that I want to make women feel safe, and I want to provide women with a safe space to pursue their dream life, design their dream life, and live the life that they want to live. Be their most authentic self. I want to provide safety. I want to improve you. I want you to grow. I want you to do better, but I want you to feel safe. Like that is my number one. I want you to feel safe. More than anything else, I want you to feel safe. And so I wrote it out. I designed my mission statement. I crafted it. And I would play with different words. Like, okay, like this is like maybe this, maybe this, maybe this. And as I did it, and I've done it multiple times, I've written my mission statement multiple times. Every time I do it, I get a little bit clearer and a little bit clearer. When I started, all I knew was safe. All I knew was safe. All I knew was safety for women. And as I've gotten deeper and gone further into designing my mission statement and crafting it and writing it and, repeating it, I've been able to hone in more and more and more and more onto what I want my life to mean and what I want my life to really, what my purpose is. I've been able to hone in on that. And the beautiful part of it is that having this mission statement, I'm able to filter everything that I do through the lens of my mission statement. Okay, so I have a habit of I call myself a master business brainstormer. Okay, you give me a word and I am able to give you like 5 to 10 business ideas. Okay, and my problem is that I want to try them all. I want to learn how to do them all. I just get fascinated, and I've gone through periods of my life where I've been hyper obsessed with being certified and learning how to do all these different things. I mean, I was a personal trainer, I was a group trainer, I was a makeup artist, I thought about becoming a lash technician, I thought about becoming a cosmetologist. I'm thinking currently about becoming a life coach and an Enneagram coach, which I'm actually really interested in that. But through all of that, and I have to filter my life through this mission statement. Whenever I get this inkling of an idea, like, oh, I could do that, right? I could try that. I want to learn how to do that. And I could make this business and do these things. Every time it hits me, I'm able to look at my mission statement and think, is this task, is this action that I'm considering taking, does it have anything to do with my mission statement? Can it have anything to do with my mission statement? Can I see where it has anything to do with my mission statement? Right now, no. Right off the bat, no. But there are other things like being a life coach, being an Enneagram coach, that I'm able to look at and think, yeah, I could really help a lot of people by doing that. I could really help a lot of people by doing that. And so I am able to use my mission statement as the filter of my life and the filter of all of my actions. And so that's the power of actually having a mission statement and working on a mission statement. And like I said, it is a constant process for me. I didn't do it once and I'm done and I'll have the same mission statement for the next 100 years of my life. That's not the case at all. I'm constantly working on it and thinking about it and sort of focusing it more and more and more and understanding my mission more and more. And I think that that's the beauty of being a human, is that sure, figuring out other people is really difficult, but just figuring out yourself is so interesting and intricate and constant. And understanding who you are and improving yourself is a constant, right? And so that is why I'm a firm believer in a mission statement. But, and I've already sort of talked about this with how I am with my life. But the fourth tip is that you need to brainstorm ideas for how you can actually live out your mission statement. What are some action steps you can be taking to actively be living out your mission statement, okay? Usually, and I think this is always going to be my picture in my mind. Drinking wine on the beach, it's not a mission statement. I mean, unless your mission has something to do with luxury and leisure, then maybe, right? But for the most part, just drinking wine on a beach, it's not a purpose. It is not aligned with your mission. What is your mission and what are the actions you can be taking? Okay? Is it that you need to get a different job? Is it that you need to get involved with some sort of volunteer program? For me, For example, with the church that I go to, I am involved with students and I lead a group of middle school girls on Wednesday nights. That is part of how I'm able to take action on my mission, because I get the opportunity to make 11 to 14-year-old girls feel safe. I have that opportunity every week, and that's amazing. It's amazing. But what can you do? Should you start a YouTube channel or an Instagram page, or should you start some sort of group, some sort of support group? What can you do? Starting a business, starting a charity, what can you do? What can you do? Because once you identify your mission statement and once you identify, oh, this sets my soul on fire. Okay? Once you identify that, then it becomes this thrill of, I want to take action on it. I want to take action on it now. Like, the moment I identified, I want women to feel safe, it was almost like I was consumed with this, yes, like that is what I want. I want to do this. And so instantly, ideas start popping into my head. I start being inspired of all of these different things that I could be doing, of all these different things that I could be sharing with people, creating for people, these businesses, these funds, these programs, these resources, whatever it is, there's all of this stuff that I could be doing to help you feel safe. I want you to feel safe. But you have to start taking the action, and you have to develop the ideas. And you have to take the time to really think about the ideas and what's out there, the opportunities that you could be taking, the actions you could be taking. You should identify those. I think the best part about really brainstorming and knowing, so you know your mission statement, and then when you start brainstorming ideas and brainstorming things that you can do and actions you can take and how you can start really living out your mission, I think the most incredible thing is that you have so many ideas that you're truly on fire for. And I think that it can be sort of difficult sometimes because you might have an idea that it's inspired by something else. For instance, this YouTube channel. I was initially inspired to do a YouTube channel because of the beauty industry, and I thought that that's what I wanted to go into, was the beauty industry. And it was like I had the idea, but I was scared, and I have been scared for the last 3 years to just post content that I was truly passionate about. This kind of content, the content where I'm sitting down and talking to you. But I had the idea, I had the inspiration, and so getting the idea out, absolutely, it's super easy. I think that the challenging part sometimes is the taking action on these ideas, because sometimes they're unconventional. You know, this YouTube channel, it is unconventional. Most people would say, well, if you really want to make people feel safe, then, I don't know, become a police officer, right? Like, doing something that it has the confines of normal life, normal living, normal existence. People understand it. It's got the game plan. But I don't feel aligned with a lot of that stuff. So identifying the things that it's like, okay, this is going to fulfill my purpose and my mission. I am so excited to do it. When I think about it, it excites me. It aligns with the kind of lifestyle that I want to live. Those are the things that you truly need to take action on, that you truly need to start stepping into. And again, sometimes these are the hardest things to really take action on because, again, it's not normal. And a lot of people might look at you and think, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Why don't you just do what everybody else does and just try to make money and just try to live their lives and just try to live the dream, right? Why don't you just be like everybody else? But once you identify your mission and your purpose and your why, it becomes very difficult to ignore it. And it becomes very difficult to just brush it off and say, you know what, I'm going to just continue living, the status quo lifestyle and just trying to make ends meet. When you identify your mission, when you identify why you are here, you see the potential for fulfillment, and you see that my life can mean so much, and you don't want to ignore it, because that is precisely what we all desire, right? Is to live a fulfilling life and to be fulfilled and to do something that matters. That's what we all desire with our life. And so when you identify your mission and when you really tune into this is what I'm about. This is what I want to make people feel like. This is the kind of stuff that I want to share with people. When you identify that, I guess this is sort of a disclaimer that it's going to be hard for you to ignore it now. It's going to be really hard for you to move on and do something that you're not in alignment with and that is not in alignment with your purpose and your why. It's going to be really hard to do that when you have identified why you are here, because you see that your life can mean something, and you see the impact that you can have, and you see how fulfilled you can be through helping somebody else and through being the support and the resource and the help that somebody else really needs. That you can be that person for somebody. It becomes really hard to ignore it when you realize what you were set on fire for. So I guess that's a little bit of a disclaimer. Now, in the next episode, I am going to be talking about self-concept. And I think that self-concept is vital when you are pursuing your dream life and when you are trying to live according to your why and your purpose, because your self-concept is going to enable you to embody that person that is purposeful and that is living your dream life. So stay tuned for that in the next episode. Thank you so much for joining me today. I love you oh so very much. And until next time, so long.